Hello, amazing artists. Today we are going to be working with pipe cleaners. You're going to have two pieces, your scissors, and some yarn to begin our worry doll. What you'll do is take the one piece and you're going to fold it in half so the two ends meet like a V. Look at the letter V or U. You're going to bend those two ends so they meet. Press them together and press your piece down the middle like that. Then you're going to create a circle. So you could put your finger in there and you're going to twist the two ends so it stays over your finger. And then you're going to twist them around like this. So these are going to be the arms for your doll and the head. Then what you'll do is do the same thing where you're meeting the two ends. This end and this end want to meet. Just like your hands, when they come together, they're even, right? So we're going to do that with this bending piece. We don't want it to be like this. That's uneven. So try it again. Push it up and then press it together just like that. There's the bend. And guess which parts of the body this is going to be? What do you think? Yes, if you said the legs, it's going to be the legs. So we're going to put this V through the circle and we're going to pull it through and then we're going to give it a twist. So I'm pressing hard with one hand here and I'm twisting. So I'm taking one over the other like that. One over the other and I'm holding it and twisting it tight. So now I've got the arms, the legs, and the head of my worry doll. Now I want to make sure that everything's nice and tight, so I'm also twisting the top and just letting everything feel strong. There it is. There's my little worry doll. And then we're going to be adding some more things. If you want your arms to be a little shorter or you want to bend them, you could do that now and create movement in your doll. We're going to be adding some clothes and some hair, so I'm going to show you how to do that next. What you'll need is some yarn and decide what color hair you'd like. I'm going to go for this brown color for my hair. And what I want to do, there's different ways to do hair. You can put the yarn through the hole for the head, and then you can pull the hair around and just put it in and out through the hole to add some color to the hair like this. So I'm just bringing the hair in, putting it through the hole, and then pulling it out through the other side. So if you want short hair, this is a good way to do it. And you're just going to continue twisting this hair around through the loop. And then what I need to do is, when I'm done, I'm going to do another round of hair through the loop. And I'm just going to keep adding it until I feel like I've added enough. Now I'm going to leave this and I'm going to go for the longer part. I'm going to pull that through. And then what I could do is cut the rest of the yarn. Sometimes when you're cutting yarn, you have to pull it and cut a couple of times. You want to use this deep V of the scissors to cut. Not here. That doesn't always cut it right away. So you go like this, and sometimes you need to do this a few times to cut that piece of yarn. So be patient and just try again. Try it 3 to 5 times before you, or even more, before you decide to say, hey, I can't do it. You got to try and try and try again, okay? So here we go. Now what we'll do, if you want short hair, you're going to go ahead and cut the rest of that yarn off, and that will be short hair for your worry doll. Now, if you would like long hair, you will go ahead and cut some strips of yarn about the same size. So I'm just going to keep cutting some yarn like this. I'm going to cut maybe as many strips as I can with my yarn. And then what I'll do is I'll take a piece and I'm going to put it through the circle. And then what I'm going to do is tie it so I have my string here. Just like if you were going to tie your shoe, you're going to take one string over the other and then make a loop. So you're going to pull one string around the other and then you're going to pull it. And now you're going to have two pieces of string that could be part of the long hair. So now I have two strings that are like that. And then I'm going to just keep adding more string and tying it in the same way. So putting that string through the circle, and I'm making it even by, just like with the arms, measuring it and seeing that the two ends meet. And then I'm going to twist one thread around the other, tying it, and then letting it sit there. I'm going to keep doing that with all my other strings until I feel like my doll has a good set of hair that I'm happy with. So now I'm continuing to put the string through the circle of the head, tying it, and so on. And I'll continue to do this as I go on, just like this. And then when I'm done, I'll just kind of straighten out the hair and fix it to the way that I'd like. If you want, you could even make a ponytail up high, which is pretty fun, or you can just let the hair hang down. The next step is going to be to add some clothing. Now, there are some strips of fabric that you can use for this, and there's also some yarn that you could use. So I'm going to choose to use some yarn, and we're going to have yarn for the upper body and yarn for the lower body. So the way that I'll go ahead and add clothing is I'm going to take my long piece of yarn and I'm going to put it around the shoulders of my doll, almost like a cape. So there it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the edge and start to twist the string around to give a sleeve for my doll. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just twirling it around the arm. And now I'm bringing it back towards the chest. And I'm going to be twisting the yarn around the top part of the body. See how I'm just going around? Think of like a candy cane or just wrapping something. Okay, and I'm wrapping, and just covering up the green of the doll. You want to cover it up so this becomes her shirt or his shirt. And I'm going to have some little strings left. And what I'm going to want to do is bring them together so that I could tie them. So now I have these two little strings, and what I'm going to do is do the same tie I was using for the hair, and I'm going to take one piece, twist it around the other. We're tying a knot. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take that other piece, twist it around. And if you know how to tie a knot, I want you to help and show anybody at your table. If you finish tying your knot, you can help each other. That would be fabulous and helpful because there's a lot of us making these. Now I have a little knots on the back, so that's going to be her shirt. Now the next thing that I want to do is to make some pants. So this next step, if I have some long pieces of string after I tied my knot, we can just cut those a little bit shorter before we move on to the pants. Now don't cut your knot off. Make sure that you have your knot and that you just cut a little bit. There we go. And the next step now is to work with the pants or skirt. If you would like to make a skirt, you can take the yarn you're going to use, and a different color is nice. So that way you will be able to show the two different colors. What we'll do is go ahead and start with one string, and then you're going to twist it. So I'm holding the end here, and then we're going to be twisting this piece around. If you're going to create pants, you want to twist it around one leg each. So I'm just turning the yarn around. And look, I'm just going around and around and around and around. And then I'll do it all the way back up the pants. If I run out of yarn, I can always get some more yarn. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side of the pants. Twisting the yarn around, and I'm leaving room for a little foot. That's what is on the bottom there. So I'm twisting and twisting around and around, all the way up the leg. And then what we'll do is have the two threads, the two pieces of yarn, meet right here, and we're going to tie another knot. So twisting this around, tying, and then we're going to tie another one to make that knot. Pull that nice and tight. So these are for pants. And then you want to cut and just leave two little pieces of yarn. So that way you have your knot. Now we've got our pants and our shirt and our hair. Now, if you're somebody who wants to create a skirt, you could use that yarn that you have, and instead of twisting it into pants, you could use your yarn and you can take the yarn and twist it all the way around the whole body or the whole legs. So I'm going to leave a little bit of yarn there. I want to leave some there. And then I'm going to take this yarn and make a skirt. So if my doll wants to wear a skirt, we're going to do that with the yarn. So instead of tracing it all the way down the legs, we're going to just have it like that. And then I'm going to tie this here. One tie, and do one more to make that knot. And then I can go ahead and cut off the string just like that. Now I do have two sides. I can decide what I want to be the front and what I want to be the back. And I like this side for my front, so I'm going to use this part. And then one last thing is, if you want to put the hair up, you can tie it up. So you can get a little piece of yarn and do something that you want for the hair to tie it. That string's a little too short. Sometimes you need a longer piece. So we'll go ahead and tie the hair up. You can make a knot, or you can tie a bow. And then, one more thing is, if you would like to use some cloth, there's a cloth bin in the classroom. You can use that to add some details, and you could use some of the white glue to glue things on. If you're having a hard time tying knots, you could actually put a little bit of glue and just push down the yarn and put a little extra glue, and let that be the way that you put together your yarn pieces. If there's some cloth or material in the classroom and there's pieces pre-cut, you can use those for some of the clothing as well. And that's something you could add on and put some glue on and add to your dolls. And there she is.